The Galactic Council laughed at Earth's so-called predators, until one fearless creature tore through their tech, their pride, and their strongest warrior, all without breaking a sweat. Meet the honey badger, the galaxy's worst mistake. A vast, opalescent chamber hung in the stars above Sector 9 of the galaxy, where the Galactic Council convened to pass judgment on lesser world. Creatures of every shape and hue gathered around the crystalline amphitheater, some seated, some floating, a few exuding a faint bioluminescence as their translucent membranes pulsed in the rhythm of silent laughter. On the translucent central dais stood Dr. Vexshul, a tall, mantis-like xenoscholar from the Drom-Vec collective. His rigid antennae twitched with disdain as he tapped through holograms of Earth's fauna, projected midair for the council to mock. A lion prowled across the display, a crocodile lunged through swampy waters, a bear swatted lazily at a hive. With a hiss, the holograms dissipated. "Charming primitives," Vexshul announced. "All brawn, no nuance. Their largest predators rely on tooth and claw, yet lack venom, psychic imprinting, or elemental synthesis." Laughter rippled through the council. Counselor Tren of the Silurian Spires, a gelatinous entity encased in a containment orb, burbled, "Their apex hunters sleep more than they kill. A solar sponge outperforms them. The humans," added another delegate, "seem more dangerous than the beasts they've tamed." Vexshul's mandibles curled in smug amusement. "Even their so-called apex predators are little more than organic furniture. In fact," he gestured again. A small, stocky creature appeared. "This is the Malivra capensis, or as humans call it, the honey badger." The chamber broke into louder howls of laughter. "A rodent. That? A threat?" Vexshul maintained his poise. "Of course not. But it has been locally hyped by humans. They claim it fears nothing." Snickers gave way to chuckles, then a general murmur of agreement. Vexshul bowed slightly, claws folded. "I propose a xenobiological expedition. Let us document these creatures up close, for science and entertainment." The council approved the mission unanimously. A crew was selected by week's end. The landing craft skimmed into Earth's upper atmosphere, heat shielding gleaming under sunlight. It touched down in the heart of the African savanna, unnoticed by any human satellite thanks to cloaking algorithms stolen from a forgotten moon war. Inside the vessel, the Xeno team prepared. Dr. Vexshul presided as mission commander. Cold, brilliant, and pathologically sure of his intellect, he preferred his subjects tranquilized and labeled, not observed. Alongside him stood Torin, the security officer, a broad-shouldered, reptilian brute from the warlike Grax species. He'd served in 4 planetary pacifications and found Earth laughably tame. "Are the humans even aware we're here?" Torin growled, tapping his claws on a plasma shield emitter. "They lack the technology to detect us," Vexshul replied. "And even if they did, they'd likely blame it on atmospheric anomalies. Or weather balloons." The third crew member, Mila, adjusted her scanning goggles. A nimble, slender figure with chitinous plating and large reflective eyes, she was from the Marnies Enclave, a species known for observation rather than confrontation. Unlike her colleagues, she approached new data with cautious reverence. "They may be technologically inferior," she said, "but Earth's ecology is rich. Their biosphere is dense with predator-prey complexity." Vexshul waved her off. "Chaos does not equal sophistication." Nerul, the fourth and final team member, floated in, piloting a small surveillance drone beside him. His spherical body was encased in synthetic fur, a bizarre personal choice intended to blend in with local creatures. "I call him Snuffles," Nerul chirped, gesturing at his drone. "He's adorable and carries a disintegration ray." Torin grunted, unimpressed. Over the next several Earth days, the team catalogued lions, leopards, cobras, and crocodiles. The predators of Earth were visually imposing but easily tracked and tagged. None of them exhibited psychic shielding, molecular phase hunting, or regenerative properties common among higher predator classes elsewhere in the galaxy. Torin flexed his talons over a stunned lion, scanning it with a bioprobe. It sleeps 20 hours a day. It has potential, Mila offered. Social hunting, strength. But no resilience, Vexul interrupted. Its species would fold in days on even a Category B predator world. The Council watched live through remote feed. The entertainment ratings were average. Earth was amusing, but predictable. Then, something unexpected happened. During a night scan, Snuffles picked up erratic movement near the perimeter. A small creature darted under thick brush. Nerul adjusted the lens. Tiny target, low biomass, 4 limbs. It's burrowing, he muttered. Mila's eyes narrowed as she cross-referenced local species. Could be a honey badger. Torin scoffed. We've seen lions. Why would we waste time on a rat-dog hybrid? Mila pulled up human footage. On screen, a honey badger fought off 3 jackals, took a cobra bite, collapsed, and then got up minutes later, and continued eating. That's resilience, she said quietly. Vexul peered over her shoulder, disinterested. Anecdotal. Likely staged. The next morning, they tracked the signal again. It was moving toward them. He's not afraid, Nerul noted. He's approaching us. The creature emerged from the grass. It was no taller than Torin's knee, stocky, with thick gray-black fur, beady eyes, and a glare of raw, unfiltered defiance. It sniffed the air and snarled, a sound wholly disproportionate to its size. Torin stepped forward, weapon lowered but ready. Shoo! The honey badger didn't move. Vexul bored gestured. Tag it and move on. Torin approached, extending a stun probe. Before he could make contact, the honey badger lunged. It latched onto his leg with shocking force. Armor plating bent. Torin roared and swung his leg, but the creature held fast, tearing and biting with primal fury. Mila shouted and activated a sonic deterrent. The creature paused, released, and then attacked again. Torin fell, cursing, blood trickling from exposed skin. Vexul tried to fire a restraint net. The creature leapt sideways, dodging the arc, and bit the emitter clean off the weapon. Sparks flew. The drone hovered in, attempting to pacify it with a shock pulse. The badger turned, leapt 6 feet in the air, and bit through the drone's rotors. Snuffles exploded in a puff of sparks and fur. Silence fell. The creature stood amidst the wreckage, teeth bloodied, chest heaving, before sauntering back into the tall grass like a warlord leaving a battlefield. Vexul was speechless. Nerul looked devastated. He killed Snuffles, he whispered. Torin clutched his leg. That thing wasn't an animal. It was a weapon. The Galactic Council, still watching live, had gone dead silent. For several seconds, not a single being moved. Then the reactions poured in. Play it again. Did you see how it dodged the net? Enhance its DNA. I want its genome sequence analyzed. Across alien social feeds, the footage went viral. The honey badger, once a punchline, now wore the digital crown of apex predator. Someone looped the footage with dramatic orchestral music. Another added subtitles. Fearless. Relentless. Earthborn. Vexul turned off the feed, his pride burning. This is a fluke, he insisted. An anomaly. We'll trap it, dissect it, and expose its limits. Torin lay inside the medpod, his reptilian musculature twitching involuntarily as the automated system attempted to repair the shredded tissue of his leg. The lacerations weren't deep by Graxian standards, but the psychological damage was harder to suture. A warrior broken by a creature that didn't weigh more than 15 kilograms, it was a humiliation no battle scar could erase. Dr. Vexul paced the command chamber in tight, agitated loops, his mandibles clicking as he reviewed the footage for the 15th time. Mila sat quietly at the console, watching him, her usually sharp eyes dulled by something she couldn't quite name, unease, perhaps, or awe. Why didn't the tranquilizer work? Vexul snapped. Mila hesitated. Its metabolic response is unlike anything we've recorded. Hyper-accelerated. It processes neurotoxins too quickly for standard dosages. Then increase the dosage, Vexel barked. No more surprises. We're capturing it today. Nerul floated in, cradling the backup drone, now fully armed. The humor was gone from his voice. I gave this one flamethrowers. Vexel didn't laugh. No one did. Outside the ship, the traps had already been deployed, plasma nets rigged with scent triggers, bait laced with stun compounds, and anti-grav anchors to pin the creature mid-leap. The team watched from behind reinforced panels as the night fell once again. They didn't have to wait long. The honey badger appeared at the edge of the perimeter, nose twitching, eyes glinting in the starlight. It sniffed, examined the trap, then did something unexpected. It ignored the bait, walked around the plasma field with precise, deliberate steps, and began to dig beneath it. Is it avoiding the trigger zone? Mila asked. The creature emerged inside the protected area seconds later. With clinical efficiency, it shredded one of the scent beacons, urinated on a net generator, and chewed clean through the wires connecting the field. Sparks flew. Silence followed. Vexel slammed his clawed fist on the console. Deploy the drone. Nerul hesitated. Snuffles too, has your blessing. The drone zipped into the field. The honey badger looked up at the noise and charged. The drone opened fire. Flames whooshed across the ground. The air shimmered. For a moment, it seemed like the creature had finally met its match, until the camera caught movement from the side. The honey badger had circled the flames, leapt onto a nearby rock, and launched itself mid-air. With terrifying grace, it latched onto the drone and tore it apart mid-flight. Pieces rained down like burning confetti. The creature stood on the wreckage, unharmed, victorious, and very much unbothered. Vexel stared at the feed, stunned. I don't understand, he muttered. It has no natural weapons beyond claws and teeth. It has no psychic shielding, no cloaking, no chemical warfare. What is it? Mila's voice was quiet. It's pure will. It doesn't stop. It doesn't fear. Torin limped in, arms folded. It doesn't negotiate either. Outside, the creature did something unexpected. It began dragging the drone wreckage away, piece by piece. Nerul leaned forward. Is it salvaging? Or, Mila whispered, is it sending a message? Back in the Galactic Council chambers, thousands of light-years away, the live feed had gone viral. The honey badger's confrontation was trending on 4 systems. Merchants sold Earth's apex merchandise. Analysts argued about the ethical implications of Earth's fauna classification. Military strategists began requesting defensive protocols in case of larger, unknown species from Earth's biosphere. One particularly dramatic senator from the Ultran Confederacy shouted, "If that is a minor predator, I shudder to think what their major ones are like." The council ordered immediate reassessment. Vexel, meanwhile, refused to concede. We must capture it. For the integrity of xenobiology. For the council. Mila stared at him. You don't want to study it. You want to tame it. Like the others. But it doesn't want to be tamed. And what do you suggest we do? Vexel snarled. We leave it alone. That is not an option. Torin finally broke the silence. We came here to prove Earth's ecosystem was inferior. What we proved is that even their smallest creatures can fight on par with galactic warriors. That is not an ecosystem to mock. It's one to respect. There was a long pause. Vexel tapped into the main terminal. Begin orbital recall protocol. We're leaving at dawn. The team moved quickly, packing up equipment, destroying any remnants of alien tech, and disabling local probes. Nerul insisted on leaving a small encrypted plaque by a rock, written in Galactic Common, *, you win. *. As the ship lifted from the savannah, dust kicking up in spirals, the team caught one last glimpse of the honey badger. It sat on a mound of scorched metal, looking straight at the ascending ship. Unblinking, daring them to come back. They didn't. Days later, back at the council, Vexhul was called into a closed session. The footage had become classified. Earth's planetary classification was being revised from Tier 7, primitive life forms, to Tier 4, emerging threat potential. A new file was added to the restricted xenobiological archive. Malivera capensis, class red ***. Do not engage. Not for containment. Observe from orbit only. ***. One council member asked Vexhul, if that is their vermin, what are the humans like? He didn't answer. He just turned and without a word exited the chamber. And somewhere on Earth, in the endless grasslands where lions roared and snakes slithered, a small, scrappy creature sniffed the air, unbothered by the stars above. It had no idea it had just shaken the pillars of galactic pride. And it was hungry again,